Diego. Dino needs some repairs done on some chains. So I just wanted to create a video really quick to talk about the one thing you probably aren't doing that's costing you a lot of money with permanent makeup clients. That one thing we really take for granted and will literally change your entire business. So that one thing is following up enough. So let's talk about the different types of follow-ups there are and the misconceptions that people have behind them. So when it comes to clients, a lot of my students that I talk to through coaching, they say like, oh, I don't follow up with clients because I don't want to sound like a stalker. I tell them all the time, follow up. And they're like, well, I don't want to sound like a stalker. So I want you to even think about yourself and the different things that you do throughout the day that could distract you from one core thing. Last night we were at the grocery store and a lady came in and the cashier was like, oh, you're back. And she said, yeah, I came to the store to get one thing and instead I got everything else, right? That's such a common thing. How many times have you done that? I know I've done it a million times where I had intentions to do one thing and didn't. The same goes for your clients booking your services. They can come to your Instagram, they can go to your website, they can even text you, try to, connect with you, and anything can happen. They can get distracted, someone calls their phone, they have to go back to work, the kids need them, the spouse needs them, etc. So it's a missed opportunity for you if you don't take the time to follow up with them. Now, when it comes to the misconceptions of following up with people, when it seems stalkerish, it's when you're the one initiating the conversation, right? So if the client initiates the conversation and they inquire about your services, it's your duty now to follow up with them if they don't book right away, because every client is going to be at a different process in their client buying journey. So they may not be ready at that exact moment to buy your services, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to book you. They're just waiting for the time to be right. Emergencies arise. So many different things happen. And sometimes we're too prideful to follow up. And so we just miss the opportunity. Because if they've inquired about the service with you, they've likely already made the decision that they want to get their brows done. They want to get their lashes done. They want to get the service, right? So if you are not following up with them, you're deemed as unresponsive, even if they don't follow up with you again. So when you miss that opportunity, it's like, oh, because you never reached back out to me. And I know this because I've been doing this for years. I've been doing permanent makeup for over 8 years now. There's so many clients that I did not follow up with in a sufficient amount of time, and by the time I did, they're like, oh, I went to someone else because I never heard from you again, even though I was the last person to answer their question in a conversation. Or what is it, I found someone else, I couldn't find your phone number, I forgot the name to your Instagram page, all those different things. So following up is simply staying relevant to the person. So I don't want you guys to forget how important it is to just simply follow up with people. Say hello, check back in. I always like to use the analogy of going to like a boutique, right? If you're in a boutique and you're a consumer and you're looking to purchase something and no one ever comes up to you, or maybe when you first walk in they say hello, but that's it. There's no more communication. There's no, can I help you find anything? Can I help you find any sizes? Whatever. That's going to really make or break the client experience. So I want you to think about your business the same exact way. If they come in and you say hello to them, or they like your stuff and you never say anything to them, or they follow you on social media and you never say anything to them, but then you turn around and you want them to buy from you, it's a lot harder for that to happen. Or it's going to take a lot longer to convert that client. So when it comes to following up, I typically say follow up with the client at least about 5 times before you just say forget it. So what I like to do, depending on where they come from, is follow up with them typically at like the 24-hour mark if I don't book them the first day. And then I'll follow up with them the 48-hour mark or the 72-hour. You do have to communicate with people to find out like what they want from you, because they might say, oh, I have family in town. I just had a client that told me that a couple days ago. I have family in town. Oh no, it was Thanksgiving. Sorry, we just passed Thanksgiving. And she's like, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Let's talk again next week. And I was like, cool. I'll reach out to you on Monday, which yesterday was my mom's birthday. I still reached out to her for about 10-15 minutes and we booked the appointment. So in a situation like that, it's a holiday, or they say, oh, my kid, we're on our way out of town for my kid's soccer tournament, or whatever the case may be, then you want to give them that time. But if they don't give you a time period, you need to stay relevant, because your pride will keep you broke. It will keep people from paying for your services, because again, they look at you like, oh, well, I reached out to her, but she never even said anything else to me. She's not interested in my money. It's the people who follow up on a consistent basis that get the appointment booked. How do I know? Because not only do I do it, but I have several coaching clients that I've given a completely different perspective on following up that also book clients on a consistent basis as well. So do not take that for granted, because those are going to be your warm leads, or the people who like find you on social media, find you through a Facebook ad, find you through someone else. Maybe you did someone close to them, their browse. They're the ones that are going to be the warmest. So we go to social media and we figure we got to keep posting and posting and posting and posting. When if all of your followers aren't clients, you don't need to post more. You need to figure out why they aren't clients and get them to become clients, versus starting from scratch with people who don't know you at all. If a person took the time to follow your page on social media, that means that they have some level of interest. So we can't take that for granted. Now, if you need help with this process at all, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to put my contact information in the description below. If you don't have like a surefire follow-up process, or you don't know what that should look like, then definitely reach out to me so that I can help you to figure something out, because I don't want people to keep losing money. 90% of people in this industry don't have success, and they leave the industry and go back to their 9-to-5 or go back to what they were doing before, because they're never able to see the level of success that they desire, when really something as simple as following up can make such a huge difference in your business. I mean, like, all the difference in the world. So again, going back, don't be prideful, don't be egotistical, leave that out of it. Don't take for granted that people may or may not have other things to do, so they weren't able to, find the time to follow back up with you. But as the consumer, as the business, if you want the client, you follow back up with the client and you keep yourself relevant to them. And when the time comes, you're going to be at the top of their mind and they're going to book the appointment with you. I have some clients that find me on social media that book me right away. The one client that actually I just booked reached out to me. The one client that I just booked actually reached out to me a year ago, but time didn't permit it at that time. And so she followed back up with me. But that was after I sent out like an email automation to everyone that I have on my email list, just to stay relevant, right? And if you are new and you don't have an email list, that's okay as well. You don't have to have all of those things set up, but if they definitely help to support you in your business, especially if you're busy and you have, I was going to put the camera on my son, but if you have other things to do. My son, for example, is injured right now, so I don't have time to necessarily sit on social media all day or even text people, but I do have an app that I have a universal inbox to, so I reach out to everybody all in one place, all from this app. that's also mine. So if you need help with anything when it comes to client communication, business building, how you should be following up, what you should be saying, those are specific things that a lot of people really don't teach, especially trainers. They don't dive deep into what the conversations should look like so that it doesn't feel salesy, because that's really what's uncomfortable. You feel like you're like chasing a person for the sale, and following up with the person is something completely different than chasing a person for a sale. So again, don't take that for granted. If you need my help or support in any of these things, look in the description below and reach out to me, and I will be happy to send over some resources and help you and support you in any way that I can. Okay, now onto this traffic. Have a nice day.